Dragon's Awakening. The Duke's son is changing the plot. Chapter 11, Practical Test 5. The air in the training grounds was charged, alive with a strange, intoxicating mixture of tension and excitement. Dust hovered like a veil over the dueling circle, caught in golden shafts of sunlight streaming from above. The crowd leaned forward as one, 1,000 murmurs colliding, waiting for the next clash. Alex, with that infuriating grin of his, strutted back toward Team Raven. He flexed his arms as if he had just finished a casual warm-up, not a brutal contest. His cocky swagger only fueled the restless energy swirling around the spectators. He basked in it, fed on it, but not everyone could smile. On the opposite side, Darren was seething. His face was stone, but his fists betrayed him. They clenched and unclenched, knuckles whitening, nails biting so deep into his palms that they almost drew blood. His team had already lost 2 rounds. 2 humiliating defeats burned on his skin like brands. One more loss and it would be over. Not just a match, but his pride, his reputation, his standing. He felt eyes on him. Cold, heavy, expectant eyes. He didn't dare turn his head because he already knew whose they were. People he could not afford to disappoint. People who would not forgive weakness. His jaw tightened. Enough. Without warning, without a word to his teammates, Darren stepped forward, storming into the ring. His boots struck the earth with the weight of fury. A dangerous gleam lit his eyes as he raised his voice like a blade, cutting through silence. Enough of this nonsense. Gasps rippled through the crowd. His gaze locked, sharp and unyielding, onto one figure in particular. You. Get in here. The hush that fell was deafening. For a moment, the training grounds were a vacuum, breath held, hearts pounding. He had chosen Raven. The audience leaned forward, hunger gleaming in their eyes. At last, the mysterious boy who sat in the shadows, letting his teammates fight. Was he finally going to reveal his strength? Rumors about him had spread like wildfire. Was this the moment they saw if those whispers carried truth? Even Damien and Vance, seated in their elevated judges' chairs, stirred, shifting slightly forward. But Raven? Raven tilted his head with that same maddening laziness, his eyes heavy-lidded, expression calm, almost bored. Me? His voice carried no weight of tension, no spark of excitement, just a soft, almost indifferent question. Yes, you coward, Darren spat, venom dripping from every syllable. You hide behind your little team? What are you? Afraid to step up? Or do you only talk big when no one can see you? The crowd erupted in whispers. Raven, though, did not rise to the bait. His gaze blinked, slow, almost like he had not even processed the insult, but inwardly his thoughts were sharp, calculated, almost amused. Why would I step up when I'm trying to make my team shine, you dumb buffoon? He exhaled softly, then turned his head. Only one word left his lips. Clara. It was all he needed. From his side, Clara smirked. She stepped forward, her body loose and dangerous, like a predator finally allowed to hunt. She rolled her shoulders, her joints cracking faintly, her voice rich with playful menace. Finally, my turn, she teased, cracking her knuckles. I was beginning to think you'd grown feelings for me, Raven. Keeping me by your side forever, Her words were sharp, but Raven's mind betrayed him for a fleeting moment. The image flashed unbidden, a future where Clara stood close, not as comrade, but as something else. For a second, warmth threatened his cool exterior. But then, her sadistic grin, her love for torment, her thrill in cruelty, reality snapped back. No, absolutely not. In the dueling circle, Darren's face contorted with rage. You're sending her? Of course. You'll just throw another piece away like a pawn. But Raven's yawn cut him off, casual, mocking. Are we fighting, or are we giving speeches? The laughter that erupted was cruel, mocking Darren more than Raven. Darren's pride burned. His face was darker than iron pulled fresh from the forge. Instructor Gale's voice thundered across the grounds. Third match, begin! And like an unleashed arrow, Darren shot forward. Whoosh! His speed was startling, his body exploding with raw power, fists raised to destroy. But Clara did not flinch. She smiled. Eager, aren't we? His punch cut through the air like a storm, but at the last instant, Clara swayed, smooth as flowing water. The strike missed. Tsk! Darren twisted, his body spinning, his leg arcing in a vicious kick. Swoosh! Clara took a single step back, measured and easy. The strike passed harmlessly by. Her smirk grew wider. Missed again. From the sidelines, Jake's voice muttered low. She doesn't even have her dagger. Alex shrugged, still rubbing the soreness from his jaw. She'll be fine. Ever seen her walk into a losing fight? On the judge's dais, Vance leaned forward, eyes sharp, arms crossed. He had expected Raven to fight. Disappointed or not, Clara was better than most. Perhaps at least they would avoid total humiliation. Beside him, Damien chuckled. So, how confident are you? His tone was light, teasing, but his eyes glimmered with an edge. Vance sneered. Darren isn't like his pathetic teammates. He's strong. Damien cut him off with lazy amusement. Ah, that reminds me, the caretaker of Team Raven. I told you I had a little chat with him, didn't I? Do you know what he said? He leaned forward, lips curling. Among Raven's group, the one he called the most dangerous wasn't Raven. Vance stiffened. Then who? Damien's smirk was razor sharp. Clara. Vance's gaze snapped back to the ring. His eyes narrowed, watching her anew. At first, it looked as if Darren had her cornered, her movements defensive, her dodges desperate. It was a terrible matchup, an assassin against a striker. But then he saw it. Every dodge was deliberate, every smirk purposeful. She was not surviving, she was leading him. She was guiding his strikes, letting him think he was in control. She was toying with him. Damien chuckled softly. Look again. Vance's jaw tightened as realization dawned. Clara was weaving Darren into a trap, slowly unraveling his discipline, dragging him into blind rage. She's manipulating him. And in that moment, Alex's voice filled the silence from afar, completing the thought Damien had left unsaid. Venomous. Yes, Clara was a snake, fangs hidden until the exact moment of strike. If Raven had to name her, he would not hesitate. A genius. She absorbed everything he taught, bent it, twisted it, made it her own. She knew Krav Maga, mastered it beyond Jake, yet never revealed it. Not because she lacked the skill, but because she chose not to show her hand. Not yet. Clara thrived in shadows. She loved breaking an opponent's mind before breaking their body. And she was strong, stronger than most realized. Strong enough that even Raven, calculating and detached, admitted he did not know the full extent of her abilities. He only knew this: she was not yet strong enough to face him. In the ring, Darren's fury reached its peak. His blows came faster, heavier, but they lacked clarity. His form collapsed into chaos. His strikes were desperate, wild. Clara danced. Her body weaved through his rage, each dodge smooth, effortless. Her grin widened with every miss. You're so predictable, she taunted, her voice low and cruel. Shut up! Darren roared. Did I hit a nerve? Not my fault you fight like a brainless brute. Her words sliced deeper than any blade. Darren's eyes burned with humiliation. His roar shook the grounds as he poured all his strength into one final devastating strike. His fist came down like a hammer of fury, and Clara let him. For the first time, she did not dodge. She leaned, twisted, made it look as if she had no way out. Darren's grin split wide in triumph. Got you, bitch, he spat. The audience gasped as the fist connected, except it didn't. At the very last instant, Clara's body spun. She redirected his force, twisting his arm, pulling him forward, and then, wham! Darren's own momentum dragged him down, his body slamming into the dirt. The impact shook the ground. Silence fell. Did she just... She didn't even hit him. He took himself out. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Clara, standing tall above him, dusted her hands as if she had merely finished a chore. Instructor Gale's voice cut the stunned air. Winner, Clara. The match was decided. Team Raven had won. Darren groaned on the ground, humiliated, shattered. His pride was broken more than his body. Clara looked down at him with that same sadistic smirk. Well, she mused, that was easy. He trembled with rage, but he could do nothing. Too many eyes bore witness. His power was worthless here. Raven, meanwhile, turned away without a glance. His voice was calm, dismissive. Let's wait for our next match. And so, Team Raven walked off, victory in their steps. The realization rippled through the crowd. They had won, and Darren's team had been utterly humiliated. But Raven's eyes did not rest on Darren. No. They shifted, sharp and searching, landing on Vance. And what he saw was not anger, not fury. No, Vance's gaze was directed elsewhere, toward another boy from Darren's class. His face bore apology. He was trying to shift blame, to excuse himself, to survive. Raven's lips curled faintly. He did not care what games Vance played with his allies. His mind whispered darker, sharper thoughts. When are you going to make your move, you snake-like bastard? The question lingered in his mind, echoing into silence. The match was over. The victory was won, but Raven knew this was only the beginning.